Hello everyone, how are you today? Welcome back to Pacific Front channel. Just like the oceans, airspace is a vast territory without an actual distinctive border. It's an imaginary line that can only be seen in your map or GPS. Defending a nation's airspace is even harder and more complex. We need an integrated system to protect and defend it. Despite having one of the largest territories in the world, Indonesia is still falling behind in terms of air defense capability. And looking at the potential threats we are facing right now and in the future, that's very worrying if you ask me. So on today's video, let's discuss it a little bit. We're gonna look at the airborne threat that Indonesia will be facing today and in the future, the current air defense capability that the Indonesian Armed Forces has, and more. Having a vast territory presents its own challenges for Indonesia, means that we must do everything on a much bigger scale. The roadworks project is longer, the electricity needed is bigger, and of course, the defense requirement is gonna be massive as well. Particularly in the air defense aspect, which its operation requires highly sensitive equipment to be placed all around the archipelago. It requires a high amount of investment just for detection alone. In 2014, an article from a national newspaper agency even revealed that some part of Indonesia still haven't been covered by military radar, opening up for a potential black flight for criminal or terrorist activity to military espionage. Although today, the coverage area is much wider with additional radar units, the airborne threats keep growing and evolving. The most imminent threat is stealth aircraft. As we know, two of Indonesia's neighbors already or will operate the 5th generation aircraft. Australia already operates 37 F-35A of 72 aircraft ordered. And starting 2026, Singapore will have 4 F-35B with an option for 8 additional units. Even though Indonesia's diplomatic relation with both countries is relatively good and there is no reason for them to trespass Indonesian airspace without permissions, we still don't have the capability to detect a stealth aircraft, let alone have the capability to stop them. So for that reason, we need to see it as a potential threat. The second threat is unmanned aerial vehicles, or better known as drones. For the past 2 decades, drones have been gaining momentum both in development, application, and users. It's not an exclusive capability possessed only by 1 or 2 countries anymore. Today, drones can be developed and procured by any military, even with a limited budget. And their size and application are more diverse too. Today, we have drones as big as a car or as small as a bird that can fly really high for hours, performing dangerous missions from surveillance to kamikaze. Having a relatively small size and low radar cross-sections makes it difficult for us to detect their whereabouts and deploy effective countermeasures against them. The last weapon system that might be a threat for Indonesia in the future is missile attack. Either it's cruise missile, hypersonic missile, or ballistic missile. I know the chance of being targeted by these missiles are still low at the moment, but it doesn't mean that we can relax and do nothing. Several countries in the region are developing this kind of missiles that can reach our soil. If someday there are missiles flying toward us, what can we do to stop that? One of the major operational commands that is responsible for surveillance, early warning, and air defense of Indonesian airspace is Kohanutnas, Komando Pertahanan Udara Nasional, or in English, National Air Defense Forces Command. They are one of the main operational commands of the Armed Forces HQ. Although its personnel are mostly from the Air Force, since 1984, they are not part of the Indonesian Air Force anymore. In operation, Kohanutnas is supported by the Air Force's radar unit. Furthermore, they also integrated data from civilian radar as well. Currently, Kohanutnas have 4 sector command and 1 training center in Surabaya, and each sector command consists of several radar units operated by the Air Force. Sector Command 1, headquartered in Jakarta, consists of 6 radar units covering western part of Java and Borneo, southern part of Sumatra, and Natuna Islands. Sector 2 Command, headquartered in Makassar, consists of 5 radar units covering Sulawesi, Lesser Sunda Islands, and eastern part of Java and Borneo. Sector Command 3, headquartered in Medan, consists of 4 radar units covering the northern part of Sumatra, and Sector Command 4, headquartered in Biak, consists of 5 radar units covering Papua Island and Maluku Islands. So overall, Indonesia has 20 active radar units. But sadly, our radars are mostly obsolete for detecting present and future threats. Cited from Jen's article from August 2021, the Indonesian Institute of Science or LIPI, in collaboration with Telkom Institute of Technology Purwokerto, published an assessment of Indonesia's network of air defense radar and suggested that we are presently ill-equipped to detect incursion into our airspace. According to Kompas.id, Kohanutnas operates several types of radar such as AWS-2, Plessey AR-325 Commander, Thomson TRS-2215 DNR, and TRS Master T. Besides Master T radar, which had been procured since the mid-2000s, the rest were procured between the 1960s and 1990s, comprising 75% of the active military radar we have. If one of the radar unit captures an unidentified flight, they will coordinate with fighter squadrons to immediately scramble their fighter aircraft. But what if the blip on the screen is a missile and flies towards an important asset? Well, we have to admit, our air defense system is still limited to stop such an event. Most of our land-based air defense system can be categorized into SORAD or VSORAD, so the coverage is pretty much limited to several kilometers at max. Besides several types of manpads and older generation of AA guns, the Indonesian Air Force currently operates more than 6 batteries of SkyShield Mk2 integrated with Chiron manpads for point defense system, meant to protect the Type A Air Force Base and the Presidential Palace. Only recently, we finally have a medium air defense system with 2 batteries of NASAMS-2 air defense system to protect Jakarta airspace. But until today, the existence of the system is still in secrecy, and I'm not sure if I can show the footage here. Looking at the Kohanutnas equipment, we definitely need to replace it with a new one. In late 2019, Leonardo and state-owned electronic industry PT LAN signed a contract to provide one R8031 DLM radar system for the Indonesian Air Force. The procurement is meant to replace the AWS-2 radar from the 60s and will be installed on Radar Unit 221 in East Java starting 2022. PT LAN will provide local component, infrastructure support, and expert radar maintenance. And this contract will also pave the way for possible joint radar production in Indonesia. It's a big step for our radar industry. I hope the rest can be replaced with the new one as well. I want to see them operate just 1 or 2 types of radar only in the future, to increase commonality and reduce maintenance costs and training. And for the air defense system itself, what we need is an integrated, layered air defense system. SkyShield and NASAMS for point and medium range air defense are a good choice in my opinion. What we should do next is just add more of them. After we have covered most of our vital airspace, then the next capability we must have is the long-range air defense system. I think Aster 30 might be a good candidate. What do you think? I know all of this requires a big investment, but it's one of the most important capabilities that we must have no matter how. Sure, it is expensive, but our sovereignty is priceless. There you have it, a little bit of insight of Indonesia's air defense capability and the potential threats that haunt us. What kind of air defense system should we have in the future? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends and family, subscribe for more, and I will see you next time.